Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back on their Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today, taking a look at the, I believe, Amazon exclusive 2-pack from Jedi Survivor, the KX Security Enforcer Droid, and the Bedlam Raiders Droideka. So this is an interesting 2-pack. I got it on a little bit of a sale during Black Friday, nothing too crazy, it was only like 15% off or whatever. But the price wasn't too bad, so I figured, hey, might as well pick it up, see what's what. I never actually got the original normal deluxe Droideka, and I've been wanting to get that figure because it seems really interesting, and I'm glad I got the set actually. Definitely not a must-have by any means, but I really like the game, and these are a couple of pretty good figures, and honestly pretty decent value for money. Anyways, first off, we'll take a look at the Enforcer Droid first. It is just a repaint of the previous Enforcer Droid they did. It got a single release as part of the Gaming Greats, I think when it was still a GameStop exclusive subline, and it was grossly overpriced. But here we have it in this more beige, like tan color, which I think is cool. Kind of reminds me more of like an army sort of color, rather than like the black, security color scheme. And it's pretty cool. Obviously, it's just completely repainted, reusing most of that old K2SO mold from almost a 10-year-old mold now, which is kind of crazy. But it holds up decently well, all considered. I think the beige looks pretty nice. You've got the whited out eyes, and you've got like a dark sort of silver painted in a lot of details, like in the mouth and whatnot, which I think looks pretty good. The white Imperial insignias on the shoulders there. I like the silver around the shoulders with the orange around. You get a little bit of silver there in the neck as well, which I think is cool. Some of it's a little messy here and there, but it's not a big deal. And I like that the joints are all like the silver different color as well. That's pretty cool. Not too much to talk about though. We've seen this mold a lot of times now at this point. Obviously one of the more unique parts, this one does have a backpack. You can't actually remove it if you want to. It plugs in the back, and then it also clips in 2 spots on the arm. I would be a little careful of these cables. The hooks don't seem the most sturdy. I mean, they're made of a softer plastic, but you don't want to bend them too much because I think they will snap relatively easily, so you just want to be careful of that. But you got the big cable, which I guess energizes the baton or whatever, and then you got the power pack on the backpack, which looks pretty cool. I like the paint on that as well. Looks nice. Not too much to talk about, really. It's a pretty simple repaint, but it is cool. Articulation wise, you've got 2 ball joints in the neck there, so you get a pretty good range of motion. Ball joints in the shoulders that move out decently, and then they do rotate, and the tolerances are pretty good. I'm surprised. The mold is pretty old, but you still get a pretty good tolerances for the posability. The elbows rotate. I think they rotate at the base. Yeah, they also rotate at the bottom of the forearm here, as well as at the wrist, and they hinge in and out at the wrist as well. There is a ball joint, the backpack fell off, at the torso that moves all right, rotates. You have your hip joints that go up pretty far, go back decently too, spreads okay. There is no thigh swivel, but it does kind of rotate a bit on that ball joint there. You have a swivel at both the top of the knee and the bottom of the knee, with a single hinge that goes a bit past 90. And then you have a pretty large hinge at the ankle that moves very far with a ankle rocker for pivot. So articulation is pretty good. You're going to get probably most of the posing that you'd want to get out of this type of droid, which is nice. Again, though, when you're posing this arm as well, you're definitely want to be careful with this cable. I don't know how sturdy that's going to be. In terms of accessories, you don't get a ton. It doesn't need a ton, I guess. The backpack, like I said, is removable. You also get the energy baton, of course, or electro baton, whatever they call it, which we've seen multiple times, both with this figure, as well as a couple different releases of the Scout Trooper from the games. Just cast in a gray plastic, but the sculpt's nice. You have a separate piece for the little electric effect on it, which is cool. I don't think you can really remove the effect piece. Maybe if you heated it up, you could probably slide it off, but it's not removable otherwise. It is telescoping, so you can retract the baton and extend it as you wish. And the figure holds it pretty well, like so. So yeah, works pretty good. I know it was an easy repaint for Hasbro, but it does what it needs to do and is representative of the in-game enemy pretty well. But what I'm more interested in here, moving the Enforcer Droid, is the Droideka. This is really cool. This was originally released as a deluxe in the more normal paint job that it had in the films. Here we have it painted up in the Bedlam Raiders colors, and there's actually quite a bit of nice paint detailing. You've got the like reddish brown that the Raiders use all throughout, within the, I don't know, this more beige tan color. You got grays and silvers. You got hints of gold at the joints, which is cool. I think that's a really nice detail. And the gold around the cannons as well. And then the pipes are all painted a brown color, which is different, which is really cool. I think, I'm not 100% sure, because like I said, I don't have the original deluxe. I think this figure might actually have more paint than the original deluxe release. And like for basically 10 bucks more, you get a whole other figure with it. So that's kind of crazy. I like all the mechanical hinge detail around the torso and the body and whatnot. That looks really cool. Got a lot of crazy like hinge joints and whatnot going on in the torso. Like you can really like move. It's kind of really cool how it doesn't like move a ton, but there's a lot of shifting, which is cool. So that's pretty nice. You have the little pipe there. The eyes are painted red, which looks good. It looks pretty nice. I like the pistons in the arms. Yeah, in the shoulders there, these pistons actually do move with the arm joint, which is pretty cool. So that's fun as well. Just a lot of really cool moving pieces and details with this figure, which I can understand why a lot of people probably really liked this when it originally came out. And I'm glad I finally picked it up, even though I don't know where I'm going to display this, because I have no room on my shelves for this size of a droid. But I am glad to finally have it. It looks really nice. I like it a lot. Articulation wise, you do have a ball joint at the neck. It is a really small joint, and maybe a little looser than I like it to be, but it does move around. There is like hinges in the upper part here, as well as a bunch of like hinge joints in the torso, so you can move and shift it around a bit, which doesn't move like crazy, but you do get some movement. There's like a hinge joint here. I think like a hinge joint here and like a hinge joint here on this like almost belt of a torso, to accommodate for some posing as well as for trying to curl it up into a ball. These little plates or whatever, they hinge. The arms, they actually can move forward. They can move back a bit. You can move them up. Can you move them up and down? I think there is a up and down hinge there, but I can't really. There you go. You can hinge the shoulders up and down as well there. They're kind of tight, but they do move. There's a rotation and a hinge at the shoulder up here. There's a swivel at the bicep, I guess. Hinges down here as well as hinge down here. So that's really cool. They can fold all the way up, which is nice. There's no like waist swivel, I guess. I don't see one anyways, and doesn't move that way. But the legs, you do have a rotation there. They move in and out. They have a hinge joint here and a hinge joint here as well. So lots of articulation, quite a bit more than honestly maybe I would have expected for this figure. They really did a really good job. This is a pretty impressive engineered Black Series figure. Pretty surprised that Hasbro even made it to begin with. Definitely a highlight of the entire line, I would say. It's fun to finally be able to mess with it and see what I've been missing out on for about a year or so. I can't remember how old that one is. I think it's like only a year old or so. But yeah, looks pretty good, and you can honestly pose it pretty well. You can put it into a ball mode. You have like some moving pieces like here on the head. You can actually extend and roll the head down like that. Like I said, there's a bunch of these hinge joints in the torso and in the shoulder area and whatnot. You can rotate the legs around to get into ball mode. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm going to be honest. I cannot do it the best. There are no instructions in the box or anything that tell you how to do it. It's just that he has enough posability and joints that you can mess with it to eventually get it into a ball mode. It doesn't really roll or anything, but you can use it for display. There are some other videos on YouTube and whatnot that can try to show you, give you an idea on how this guy folds up. But I'm not going to waste time because I know I'm just not going to do a great job. I'm not great at it. There's not too much else to talk about, honestly. It's a pretty simple set. Just for some quick comparison, I don't have the Bedlam Raider Battle Droid. I think they have released all of the different repaints for all the Bedlam Raider Separatist droids now. So you can have the full roster of Bedlam Raiders Battle Droids. But here's just like a normal Battle Droid, just so you can kind of see how the Droideka stacks up with a Battle Droid. It's a bit dusty. I haven't messed with this one in a while. And then for fun, just here's Cal. the first release. I hope to eventually, maybe soonish, get the multi 2-pack or multi-pack or whatever. That's also Amazon exclusive. Looks pretty good. Looks like a decent upgrade to this one, but these look pretty good together. So overall, I actually think this is a really solid set, and I think it'll be easy to get this on sale. So if you can get this on sale and you're interested at all, I definitely think it's worth it. You're getting a decent amount of figure for your buck with this 2-pack. Like I said, not the most exciting pair of figures per se. You know, we've seen the Droideka only once, I guess, but we've seen the Enforcer droid plenty of times now. Not like essential characters or anything like that, but if you like the droids, you're collecting the full roster of Jedi Fallen Order stuff, or Survivor stuff, sorry, that sort of thing, then especially if you can get it on sale, I would definitely recommend picking the set up. It's a pretty good bang for your buck. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.